Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the Too High McFly movie podcast. We really appreciate you guys giving us a listen. My name is Kevin Lyons.
I am Jose Ramos.
And I'm Minnie.
And Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 5, The Bells, which I'm officially renaming Hell's Bells, came out over Sunday. That was, 3 days ago. Today's Wednesday. And let's just say fans were very divisive right down the middle. They either hated it or they just thought it was okay.
Very polarizing episode.
Yeah, I mean, let's just take this moment. I mean, because after the music, we're going to break down the episode a little bit and just our overall thoughts about how we felt Season 8 is going and where it's going to go. But right now, let's just quickly, did you guys like the episode?
Overall, I enjoyed it. I had my problems, but there was more things I enjoyed than things I didn't, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle, but leaning more towards enjoy.
Okay, what about you, Minnie?
I liked it when I first watched it. Now thinking about it more, I'm kind of like iffy either way.
Yeah, I feel with you with that. I mean, like after watching the episode, I thought it was good because there was a lot of action, and a lot of the things that people didn't like were some of the character choices and the roads that they went down, figuratively and literally. But I thought the episode was entertaining. There were some things that I didn't necessarily enjoy, but I thought it was a okay episode of Game of Thrones. But you're right. The more I thought about it, the more I just didn't like where they're going with the season, but we'll get into that after the music. Is there any other non-spoiler stuff you guys want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, it's like isolated on its own. I really enjoyed the episode. As I start thinking in the grand scope of things, that's when holes started happening for me.
Yeah. Stupid holes. All right, guys. You guys ready to get into this?
Let's do it.
All right. Ring those bells. And we're back. Okay, Season 8, Episode 5, The Bells, Hell's Bells. Imagine how cool that would be if the episode ended with AC/DC's Hell's Bells, with Arya going down the fucking road on the horse.
That might be as controversial as the Starbucks cup.
Yeah, but fuck it, right? It's the last episode they're going on to. This episode opened up on Varys, right? And he's getting sentenced to death by Dany because she's not eating. She's like fucking paranoid, and she's already back in where were they? Dragonstone, right? Because the previous episode they ended up right outside King's Landing, and Missandei got fucking beheaded. Mm-hmm. and then they're already back there. I thought we were gonna get right back into where they left off.
I guess they needed time for the rest of the army, John's army, and the rest of the Dothraki and all of them to catch up. So they went back to Dragonstone, and it opens up with Varys, and we see him, writing the little notes.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it's kind of a callback from early on in the series when Ned was writing the little notes about the heir and who's supposed to be like on the throne.
Yeah, because that's what Varys was writing. You could see that as like the true heir to the Iron Throne, and that's all that we got out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, this was the most Game of Thrones of the entire episode.
Yeah, because it's the most like political backstabbing.
It was done really well. And there's the little subtle hint with one of his little birds where he was trying to poison Dany.
Was he trying to poison her?
Yeah, because she works in the kitchen and she wasn't eating.
And he was very insistent on
we'll
keep
try
trying
again.
to feed her.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you guys think he was trying to poison her?
Yeah.
That sneaky little bald bastard.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have been the first person that he's poisoned.
Yeah. And then they're going right into arrest him, right? They're gonna go sentence him to death.
There's the conversation between Dany and Tyrion. Mm-hmm. It's like, somebody betrayed me.
Yeah.
Yes. John. What? No? Varys is trying to kill you.
And then she's still looped, and she's like, no, but it started with John.
Yeah, Tyrion gave up Varys like right away, right?
Yeah. Oh, he snitched them. So
Yeah, and then they arrest Varys and they're bringing him down to the ocean in the nighttime. But you got to hand it to Tyrion. Like, he had enough respect when he walked up, and he wasn't in his face like it was me. He was just letting him know it's like it was me. I had to. and he went up and he shook his hand.
Did
Yeah.
he? Did he?
A little bit.
I mean, either way, Varys didn't hold any grudge against him. He kind of accepted it, and I mean, he had something. He said something snarky back quickly, but it wasn't like well, you're gonna get it too, or some shit like that.
I forget what he said.
Well, basically, we saying there is like, I actually hope that you're right.
Yeah,
about
that's what
this.
it is.
But you know what? I also got to hand it to Varys because he knew he was getting sentenced to death, and he just walked there and he was taking his rings off before they even came. He was putting them in the goblet, and they go down there, and he's gonna get burned by the dragon, but he's just like, fuck it. He wasn't scared as everybody else is, and for a guy who doesn't have balls, he had a lot of balls doing that.
And I think part of that has to be is, him already knowing that his death was coming.
Yeah.
From what was her name? Melisandre.
Missandei?
Yeah.
Missandei?
Not Miss Sunday.
No,
Melisandre.
the red woman.
The
Oh,
red
yes,
woman. She
yes.
had told him.
Damn it, their names are so similar.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that probably helped ease it when it's coming.
Yeah.
You're more willing to
When it's
face
like
it.
it's right in your face, like, oh, she was right. Well, I can't do anything about it.
Oh, damn. But it was still cool. I mean, when Daenerys was standing there sentencing him to death, and then you slowly see the dragon start to come into light right above her head, that was fucking cool.
It was that like Halloween moment.
Dude, it was scary, man. It was it was so frightening, and it was like the proper use of doing CGI at night. I know we had talked about the big battle earlier on this season, and how they hide a lot of things at night because it's easier to do that with the CGI, And this, I felt like, was a proper use of that because they were using the darkness to invoke fear when you slowly start to see the dragon's head like appear over her. That was frightening, and then seeing that fire come on. I mean, you got to admit, out of all the ways to die in Game of Thrones, I'd take the fucking dragon, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine getting like, hey, I got lit up by a dragon. It's gonna be quick. I mean, like the way that thing fires out all that flame on you, you're dead in like a couple of seconds. All the other ways you die in Game of Thrones is so agonizing. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was a really good start to the episode. But when we're talking about retrospect and we're looking at things over the season, usually in these episodes, like say if they left off on like King's Landing and then they had to go back to Dragonstone, it always just follows their journey there. But seeing how they only have 6 episodes this season, they're cutting a lot of that traveling time out of the way, except for the opening of the first episode. That's why I thought it was kind of weird.
And I think they started this definitely last season, possibly season 6. They started with the fast travel, and people were getting to places a lot
Fast
faster.
travel, Game of Thrones fast travel is like Red Dead Redemption 2.
They had already gone anywhere, so they had safe spots.
Yeah.
And then they can just like travel to those.
No, I mean before, after the long night, they were still doing like with Beric and what's his name, Tormund, when they were at the Karstarks. Was it the Karstarks or the Umbers? He was at the Umbers place. They had that, even though they immediately showed up, it showed that they were at least someplace else before they got there. Granted, it being the end of the episode before the transition makes it a little bit more believable.
Yeah.
But they have been doing those little teases of we actually are traveling because they're in one place for a small period of time before they're all of a sudden at the location.
Yeah, but it still feels like they're cutting corners.
Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely.
They've been doing more towards dialogue. So in this one, they were like, it's going to take 2 days for John's armies to get here. So now we know it took 2 days, but they didn't actually show any of it. You never saw John and the rest of the army getting there. They were just, boom, there.
Yeah. But I guess we'll get into more later about our overall problems with Game of Thrones. But let's just keep the episode going because Tyrion and Daenerys, they were talking about their battle plan, right? They're going to go attack King's Landing.
This is when Tyrion was pretty much pleading with her that there's innocent people there, that she shouldn't just go, all hellfire on King's Landing.
And that right there is a big foreshadowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if they're making a big situation about that, that's definitely a possibility.
Well, I mean, even then, going into the other episode, Danny made the comment of, Tyrion made the case of just barricading King's Landing so that food won't go in there, and then the people will revolt on Cersei themselves because she's not giving in, and it's that peaceful war type deal. And then Danny made the comment of, fine, we'll try that so that the people see that she's not willing to give in. and then we'll burn them.
Yeah. And
So,
then he's
like,
well,
yeah.
you got to give them a chance to get away. If they please, if they ring the bells, back down. Will you
Yeah.
back down? And she, well, I think she didn't even verbally reply. She just nodded, right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sneaky little blonde.
Yeah, she had her own set of plans in mind, but I think it's here where she reveals that she has captured Jamie. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Jamie trying to cross back into King's Landing, so she tells him, and then she threatens him right after, where she's like, "If you fail me again, that'll be the last time you fail me."
Yeah, that's right. And then it's so weird because they made such a big deal about Jamie going to go see Cersei, and then it's just revealed right here. Oh, we caught him. It's like more of those like cutting the corners. Like we didn't see it happen, and now they're just trying to make everything faster, and it's just like it's so obvious. You know, it just felt weird. And then, but it was a very good scene between Tyrion and Jamie. I actually enjoyed that scene
yes.
quite a lot, and it gave their relationship like almost like a full circle, because they were just talking about when he was younger. Is like, you always stuck. I would not be alive if it wasn't for you, Jamie. And he's like, no, you did that yourself. But you still felt that. I don't know, man. It was just a really good scene seeing those two together, because it was probably going to be the last time that they saw each other. You know.
And this was another strike for Tyrion in Dany's book. Besides his other failed plans that he's had in the past, he asked for trust in Cersei, and Cersei backstabbed him. Then he asked for trust in Jamie, and then here's Jamie trying to sneak back into King's Landing. So this is just piling up more on the Tyrion, you are fucking up and you're failing me. I can't trust you.
Yeah, and then Tyrion tells Jamie he's basically going to set him loose. He's going to let him go. And he told him the way to set back in the city, like finding that little cove with the boat or something like that. I forget what he was saying.
Which what surprised me here is nothing was established before to convince me why Davos would accept this so easily and be like, yeah, I'll smuggle him in going against Dany.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
like Varys had that conversation. You've seen other people having that conversation of like, I don't know about her and all that stuff. But to Davos so quickly be like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. I'll set loose the prisoner that Dany has.
Because Davos isn't loyal to Dany, he's loyal to Jon, and Jon's the one who asked him to help.
No, it was Tyrion asked him to.
Tyrion asked in front of Jon. Jon and Davos were together.
Yeah, he asked him about a smuggler.
Yeah.
You remember when he asked him about a
No,
smuggler?
but when they had that conversation, Jon wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was a one-on-one
Yeah, I
conversation.
know with Jamie, but before that, Tyrion stepped aside to Jon. This is when they were meeting with Dany. Tyrion stepped aside to Jon. I remember him saying, "It's like, I hear you know a good smuggler." And I remember because I remember when I saw that, I'm like, "Oh, is he talking about Han Solo?" Just making a joke, but it was Davos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they had that one-on-one conversation,
Yeah.
it
But
wasn't Jon.
but it's either way. Jon directed him to Davos, so obviously at that point, Davos knows Jon's kind of giving his blessing to help him out.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, just I don't know. It's just like these. I didn't even think of that, and I'm like, oh yeah, but I don't know, man. It's so weird how everything can be self-explanatory sometimes. The more you talk about it, but yeah. So let's get. So he's basically setting Jamie loose, and Jamie's getting out of there, and he's gonna die. Although I did like how he got past those guards when he's talking to them. He's like, I want to go see the prisoner. He's like, we have orders. Like we have to guard him, and it's just like, I'm the king's hand. Did the queen? Did the queen tell you this? I'm the queen's hand.
Yeah.
Like, no, I have higher power, so step aside, bitch. And they left. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But okay, so they jumped right into the battle because I felt like they just fast forwarded right to the battle. You just see them all outside of King's Landing.
Yes, so you see them out there, and I think what was cool about this is, so all the ships are waiting.
Yeah.
The battle. There's no signal that the battle is going to start yet. Mm-hmm. So Daenerys kind of caught them out of surprise, and what was cool about it is she used the sun as cover.
Oh yeah, that's
She was
right.
flying down from up top.
Yep.
Through the sun where they couldn't really make her out.
Yeah.
So she was able to hit them before they were able to really mount much of on the fence, because as those scorpions may have killed one of the dragons, but it takes long to load. It takes long to move. So unless they see her in advance, unless they're expecting her, they can't really form up in time.
Yeah, that's right.
And
that's
she
true.
used that.
Yeah.
Because he was looking, he was like, what the fuck is that? And by the time he realized what it was too late.
But the thing is that, I mean, he should have expected her to come because they were prepared for battle. Weren't their troops already there? They should have expected a dragon.
They expected to see, it's a giant-ass dragon.
Oh, yeah.
They expected to
that's
see
true.
her enough time. She, this time, came from basically directly above him using the sun to mask her coming.
See, I get that, but this just makes me dislike the previous episode before that more because of how easy it was to take down the dragon. They couldn't see the ships, and then they just quickly just surrendered. I'm like, you kidding me?
You know my problems with
Yeah,
that.
that was just, I just didn't like that. That was just sloppy.
This was more plausible than what happened in the previous episode because there's no reason they should not have seen the ships, especially with Rhaegal getting shot in the chest, meaning it should have been within view.
Twice.
Well, not only that, after you lose the first dragon to the Night King, wouldn't you start fucking making armor for your dragons? Because people are trying to fucking shoot them out of the sky now.
Yeah.
Like anything, even if it's just leather that could, I don't know, something that would just stop it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was badass. I mean, seeing all the dragon just come in and light shit up. This is when the episode just kicked it up a notch. It was just a complete change of pace. It was just battle, dragon, fire, dragon fucking tore shit.
Yeah.
If you love dragons, this is your episode.
Is this can we say battle? Is this this was more of a
Annihilation.
slaughter.
Yeah.
She like destroyed all the ships, and then which it was good strategy on her end. After destroying the ships, putting them out of commission, that's where she started. Then she's flying low and goes high real quick so the scorpions can adjust on the wall.
Yeah, that's right.
Blast the scorpions on that wall. Then she comes from behind on the scorpions in the front.
Yeah.
And the Golden Company that's in the front, not expecting her, she hits all of them from behind.
Oh, man.
So it was like a great strategy
After
overall.
taking down the wall.
Yeah.
That was so cool because they were so prepared for in front of them, and they're outside the castle, and then they hear a noise coming. It was quiet, and then they slowly turned around. They saw the walls of the castle just get blown up with the dragon flying through it. And you're right. It was a slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, it was great and bad at the same time. Like I liked it and I had an issue with it. I liked it because again, good strategy. It looked beautiful. It played out well, but I didn't like it because between Euron's group and Euron himself and the Golden Company, which have both been set up, and we've wasted time either talking about them or them chewing up scenes. And they had no effect on this battle.
Did we ever get any scenes with the Golden Company just being badass? And
Nope.
just like, no, we never got that.
It's all been word of mouth, but it also plays to the fact that up until that point, and they've said this a couple of times about the Targaryens taking over the land and becoming the first rulers, is you can destroy a castle with a single dragon. So that's another thing that we've been talked up about a lot, and then we finally see it was like, oh, they weren't
kidding.
making hyperbolic comics. Like, Dragon literally just fucked up two of the supposed most badass
Could
armies.
you imagine if she had all fucking three of
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Dude,
It would have been done. She would have hit all 3 points at the same time.
So theoretically, they nerfed the shit out of Dany.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of crazy moments. There was a lot of just like crazy battles, and a lot of this was because Tyrion just observing, because you just see him walking through the city as all this is happening.
Yeah.
And I remember in the first battle episode of the season, Tyrion was talking about how we should be up in the battle. We can see things that nobody else could see, and like a solution. And then here he is, free reign, and he's just in the city and just watching everything. And it just felt like he just didn't know what to do because it was beyond what he thought was going to happen. He felt like he was out of control, and he was just observing everything. That was kind of eerie when you think about it, you know? The guy who knows what to do didn't know what to do. He was just seeing everything.
And I mean, she accomplished her goal. She took out the three main defenses, the Scorpions, the ships, the Golden Company. And she got it to the point where the soldiers, the Lannister soldiers, they knew that they had no chance.
Yeah.
So then we get to the point of the standoff with Dany waiting.
Yeah. Will they, won't they?
Because she's waiting because like basically they took over the city, and she's hearing the people in the armies saying ring the bells, and that was that deal that she had with Tyrion. But well, it wasn't a verbal deal, she just nodded, and so she's listening to them all ring the bells, and they started to ring, didn't they? Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They eventually rung, and then you just see her just get filled with rage, and she just fucking takes out all the citizens. It was just like, we were like, what the fuck? And that's what a lot of people hated about this episode, was that it was like against her character, even though it wasn't. I actually liked it. The only thing I thought that they could have done better, and this goes into my argument why they should have just had more episodes, was that moment that made her, that she decided to turn. I felt like it could have used maybe one other type of element to it, just to show what she was thinking what made her turn, because the producers afterwards, they said, oh, it's because she saw the Red Keep and it reminded her of her father and what they did to her father. And it's like, okay, but how are we supposed to know that? We just see her get mad and go.
Yeah.
I mean, like, give us something, even it's dialogue earlier in the episode where she mentions that. I don't know, she might have, I don't know. Did she?
No, she's never seen the Red Keep. The only thing, and from the beginning.
No,
of
I'm
the
talking
series-
about like earlier in the episode, talking about what they did to her father. Did she go back over to that?
This season, not this episode.
Yeah, but the seeing the Red Keep thing doesn't make any sense because she doesn't even fucking remember it.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It needed an extra element to know that is what made her turn. I don't have a problem with her turning. I actually knew she was going to turn.
Yeah, no,
we had been talking about this for weeks. Jose brought that up. You were the one who was like, dude, I think she's going to be the villain of the story.
Yeah, because hints started falling in last season. And it's like, I know there's a lot of controversy over Dany's turn, but, you know, I liked it when it happened. I understood it, and the more I thought about it, the more I understood like this needed to happen.
Yeah.
Besides the short-term stuff of she pretty much lost or was betrayed or doesn't trust any of her advisors. She lost 2 of her babies. She lost her best friend. The final straw, I think, was the man she loves rejecting her.
Yeah, that's right, Johnny.
It's like-
He didn't give it up.
You can see in her face that was like, because she has said before that, I have no love left, and it seemed like that was her last effort to try to find some kind of hope and love.
Yeah.
And
No. What was it? It was the people up here love you. I don't have any love. All I have is fear.
Yeah. And then it's like, it seems like that final attempt, and then when he rejects her, you see her face. And
Well, it wasn't
her
even that he
expression-
rejected her. He kissed her, but it wasn't with love. It was with fear. She could sense the fear in his kiss, right?
Because right after that, she said, "Fine, fear it is."
Yeah, that was fucking
And-
chilling.
Yeah, that should have been the other side. And then you think back,
She just needed to get laid, bro. Come on.
but you think back last season. I'm forgetting the name now, but the cool older lady. What was her name?
Oh, Olenna Tark.
Or
Not Tully.
yeah,
Tully.
When they had that conversation, and
Tyrell. Sorry, it's Tyrell.
Yeah, we're just gonna go through all the T's here. And she told her, she's like, basically, not the exact words, but you need to don't listen to wise men. Be a dragon.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what she did here. She took matters into her own hands. She realized she's not going to have the love of everyone here. And even if winning wasn't enough, she needed them to bow to her, to fear her. Because even if she wins, with her people already trying to betray her, there's no guarantee that she can keep the throne. She needed to send a message to everyone that don't fuck with me, pretty much.
That's true.
And it goes back to that conversation where she decided, I'm not going to listen to anyone. I'm going to be the dragon. And that's why the bells happen. War is over. But I'm guessing in the back of her mind is, I can't trust Tyrion.
Yeah.
People are going to try to push Jon. Jon doesn't love me, even though he does. I have to make everyone fear me.
It makes sense, especially with that type of logic. I mean, like, Jon is a good leader. doesn't make you a good ruler. Dany doesn't want to be a leader. She wants to be a ruler. And rulers rule with fear, and leaders lead with respect and love. You know, and that's basically, I mean, they laid that out for us. And we were able to put the pieces together. But still, when she gave the order and she started attacking all the citizens and the soldiers who surrendered, like, it's still fucked up. We're watching it. We're going, no, like, but I respect them for doing that, and I like that they did that. It was just, man, I just wish they had more episodes to really flesh this out and really give meaning behind that turn. You know, even referencing the tea lady saying be a dragon. Terrell. Yeah. Be a dragon, you know? Like, even if it was just that sound clip going through her head, or just, you know, I don't know.
I thought it was funny. She was basically toying with Cersei. So, like, even when she got close to the Red Keep, she wasn't hitting it directly. She was slowly knocking down the towers around it.
Yeah, dude.
She was kind of toying with her.
Yeah.
Good catch. And like this whole battle was all over the place because now everybody's involved. You're seeing it through everybody's different angles. You see Arya and the Hound get into there, and I loved how first of all, before the battle, I love their entrance towards the city with the guards there, and her and the Hound go rolling up. They're like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm here to kill Cersei," and they're all like, "What?"
I'm Arya Stark.
Yeah, I'm Arya Stark. And he goes, "If you're gonna stop us, you would have stopped us. Get the fuck out of the way." And they didn't even ride fast. They just
just galloped.
Not even galloped.
Trotted.
They just moseyed fucking by them, and they're like, "All right."
He made a good point. He was like, "You might not even have to go out there and fight and possibly die."
Yeah, if you just go kill her right now. Yeah, that's right. That's what he said. That was just so fucking awesome. And while all that destruction, they finally get into the Red Keep with Arya and the Hound, and she's like is about to fall, and she's like, "All right, let's go kill her." And he's like, No. Look at me. Look at this revenge. What revenge has done to me. You're gonna die if you stay here. Just go. And she went, and she was helping a lot of the people out there.
That's when we got a good moment where she called him by his name. She's like, Sandor, thank you.
Yeah, that was so cool, man. That was like one of those it's just like, oh, you know he's gonna die.
Yeah.
And so now we get to, was it Clegane Bowl?
Yeah.
That was fucking cool. That was cool when he's walking up the stairs. It was very Star Warsy because because the mountain had the fucking high ground, and the Hound is down by there, and it's so funny because Cersei just walks by them.
Yeah. It's like, excuse me,
and then they're just gonna start fighting.
No, but it proved a good thing with the mountain, at least, because at this point he was pretty much completely brainwashed to only protect Cersei, to always be by her side, and it shows that in the beginning the building's starting to fall down, and all of the other Queen's guards kind of like either get killed or run away, and he puts his body over her and Qyburn.
Yeah.
Then he gets up and he sees the Hound, and instantaneously, as they're trying to get him to go because they just want to get out of there, he fucking throws Qyburn and fucking gets ready to fight.
Not only that, he smashes his head. That was so fucking awesome. It was like, fuck yeah. That was Frankenstein's monster, fucking killing the creator.
But that was just like they hate each other so much that he snapped out of whatever brainwashed Qyburn did to him, and was like, all right, let's fucking do this.
Yeah, that was cool, man. And they battled for a long time, and then he knocked his helmet off, and he has fucking that Darth Vader head from fucking episode 6.
Yeah, and what was good with the Hound after he knocked the helmet off says, "Yeah, that's always been you."
Yeah,
like he's always been a fucking monster.
Oh
like,
man, it was crazy seeing him without his helmet on because we always just saw those evil eyes, underneath there, and I want to know what he looked like. But that was cool because you were really wondering who was going to win that. Of course, that both of them were going to die. I thought Arya was going to come back in last minute and save him, and they both die, But seeing the Hound just grab the mountain, and then they just throw each other off, and they just land down in the fire, and they both died together, that made a lot of sense. I like that.
This goes into what Minnie was saying. I felt that way, it applied to both characters, was that no matter what was going on, the hatred for each other was so bad that they were overcoming their situation. Mountain's situation was he was brainwashed to protect Cersei. He overcame that because of his hatred. And then the Hound overcame his fear of fire because of his hatred. He knocked him off into fire. He was willing to go into fire. The thing that we've seen so many times that he feared because he hated his brother that much.
That's
which
crazy.
goes into
Every single fight I've had with my brother growing up.
but goes back to then the relationship that the Hound had with Arya, because the Hound loved Arya and he overcame fire for that. So it's that parallel between the two emotions, the love and hate. The hatred will lead you to overcome fear. Love will help you to overcome fear.
Yeah,
Getting
and then
philosophical with this shit.
get philosophical, but let's just keep this rolling along. Then we get Jamie meeting up with Cersei in that map room, right? And he whisks her away to the basement. But it's so funny, and like I noticed this halfway through the scene, like there was so much danger, everything was falling. But in movies like that, when they're happening and there's two characters having a moment, it's like all the destruction pauses so they can have their moment, and they're like, just keep having your dialogue, and you guys will be safe because that's what happens in these types of
Never
situations.
stop talking.
Don't stop talking because we need to see it. You're fine. You're safe here. And then they go to the basement. Because they're trying to get out through the tunnels, but that was caved in.
But then, like, all of that got ruined because he didn't make it to the gate in time.
Yeah.
Since he didn't make it to the gate in time, he had to take a whole other route. So he didn't get to her in time. So by the time he got down there, even though it looked like there was a little opening at the top, they could have done a little
out.
digging in there.
There was some sunlight coming through that tunnel.
But it was like...
I don't know.
it was-
Jamie just got his hand back, so
But yeah, it was like packed up. So it was like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to make it. Which he has said in the past. I forgot who he was talking to. I don't know if it was Braun. They were talking about how they would want to die. And I think he said something along the lines of, in the arms of a woman I love or something like that.
yeah.
In the past, which, has, disturbing as it is, this is who he loves.
Yeah. In this moment, because they die, because they get caved in, and well, you don't see them die, but they die, dude. They got crushed by a fucking castle.
They should.
They should be dead. But this goes into my problems of like 2 episodes before that. They had the whole Jamie and Brienne thing, and like that was such a waste of like a romance and arc. Like that could have been used. I don't know. Just give Brienne something. It just didn't lead to anything.
It was a piss poor payoff for the feelings that Brienne had for Jamie, but it escalated, or not enhanced, would be a better word, enhanced the feelings that Jamie has for Cersei.
Okay.
That's really, it was more to benefit Jamie's character arc than it was for Brienne. And which is pretty shitty because Brienne's a fucking awesome character.
Yeah, but they also built up Brienne and Tormund. Even though Brienne didn't give him the light of day, they spent so much time giving that to the audience and building this. And like as abrasive as Tormund is, you felt like he loved her. You know what I mean? Like he always had this smile, like he was trying to like, just be a nice guy right in front of her and just saying the wrong thing, but he thinks it's right. And then all of a sudden Jamie gets her and he's just like, fuck it. And he just goes after these other girls.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck is the point of that?
But I think beyond it ruining what they set up with Brienne and Jamie, I think it ruined the entire arc. What we have seen for the past like 6 seasons since he started his redemption.
Yeah.
It took that entire redemption arc and put him back at square one. So it's like all this time, all that stuff they went through, from losing his hand, from protecting Brienne, from having his regrets. It took all of that
just so he could hit it and run.
Yeah, just wiped their ass with it, and then they threw it on the ground because he went right back to where he was.
I just don't get why their relationship had to be sexual. I was actually really enjoying that, like he was just respecting her as a soldier, as a knight. I thought that was cool. They should have just done that, and then they had to make it sexual. And it's just like, why? Come on. I mean, I know it's Game of Thrones, but if you're gonna give us, I mean, you built up so much for different things. It just felt like they were just making it up as they went along, and that's what I didn't like.
It came out like he was just doing her a favor. Like, oh, you're a virgin? All right, I'll do you this favor before I leave.
Oh, God.
What was more awkward? Arya's love scene with Gendry or
Brienne and Jamie?
Brienne and Jamie?
Yeah.
That was more awkward. It was just like shocking for us to see Arya have sex because like we felt like she was our little sister just growing up like throughout that show and just watching her. We felt protective over her.
Yeah.
And so when we finally see her, it's just like doing that. We almost want to shield our eyes because it's just like, come on, she's like a little sister.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's getting towards the end of it.
And I feel like kind of. So we talked about how it ruined Jamie's arc because
Yeah.
everything that they built, they just threw out the window.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we've had Cersei built. She's been such an amazing character, and she was built to this point. And then at the end, she's just staring at a window, slowly becoming delusional, and then rocks fall on her.
Yeah, what was that? That was what people were talking about. She made $1 million an episode.
$1.2 million.
That episode just to stand in front of a window and drink wine. I mean, like, good for her, but what was their excuse for not doing a full season? Was it money constraints?
I think they were gonna. Their goal was to pump all of the money into these 6 episodes and make them extravagant.
Oh my god!
And use their funding for that, so we can get the big battles and all of that, because they knew it was going to be expensive.
That's stupid.
And
though.
then
they have the money to do all that shit, especially if it's the final season. That's what really drives me crazy because it's just I just feel, even though I like the episode that we just saw, it just feels like they're being lazy. It feels like we're almost done. I want to move on and do Star Wars, so let's just do 6 episodes and that's it. Even though HBO wanted them to do 10, and the fact that they extended like most of these episodes for like an hour and a half, it feels like if you just kept every episode an hour, it would have been at least 8 episodes anyway, you know? And they would have been able to flesh out a lot of these moments better and just do these characters justice. Not that the choices that they made weren't justified, other than the whole Jamie and love arc with Brienne and this. It just felt like it could have breathed better and made a really amazing finale, because name shows that have great finales. There's not a lot. There are some, but it's just that's what you should concentrate on. Keep up your professionalism and make a really great product, you know?
And that's the thing. With them shorting these episodes out, what suffers is the development of these characters and finishing their journey out the right way. I feel like we're getting the cliff notes
the
of the
rushed
season
version.
instead of like the full book.
It feels like they tried to do a new type of formula and it was rushing. And they're like, granted, like, yeah, we want more battles. All right, well, I think you've been doing okay so far. Just give us good episodes. Give us a good ending.
Yeah.
Because
we, as viewers, have never really watched it for battles. There's been, before this season, 3 battle episodes. One of them being Battle of the Bastards, which was amazing. You had a couple ones behind the wall, but this isn't a action, like, the action's nice when they do it, but it's not an action oriented show. It's a drama with characters.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're focusing more on spectacle rather than flushing out and finishing the characters and explaining why all of a sudden Dany's turning. It's not just looking at the Red Keep. It's not something that she did in a moment. Like, there's been shit that's been building to that. Like, she predetermined how to do it.
And why rush into it?
Yeah. Like, show us more of that. Like, she's already heading there.
Yeah.
Spend another 15 minutes in an episode showing us this is actually what pushed her over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and keep in mind that even though they're saving the money for the spectacles and the battles were cool. They're really cool. But if that's all you got, that's just a fucking shitty action movie. You know what I mean? But even though they have a lot of stuff behind it. What were you going to say, Jose?
Okay, I'm saying there's so much they could have done if they went to 10 episodes. Just in what happened this episode alone, they could have had some time with her using Tyrion's plan of trying to kind of starve them out and staying outside, and then get an episode or 2 of the political aspects of it.
That would be fucking cool.
And having that character development. And then it doesn't work. And then that gives even more reason for her losing it, and then she finally attacks.
Yeah. And she reaches her frustration point, so she doesn't just attack the armies and the soldiers, she attacks the civilians because they didn't do what she thought they were going to do. And she's been that character where if you don't follow me, I'm going to fucking kill you.
And that's something she's always been.
Yeah, I could even imagine her holding the city hostage and not even going in to attack Cersei. She wants Cersei to come out, so the longer she waits, she would just start killing people here and there, almost like how bad like terrorists do. Like, we will kill a person every hour. You do not come out of the Red Keep. You know what I mean? At least that would have been fucking interesting because she's playing off how bad Cersei is. Even though she's bad, she doesn't give a shit about the people.
Yeah,
you know. But
and,
I don't know.
they could have added to it is not kill Miss Sunday that early. Have her as a hostage for a while, which is then adding to the anxiety of Dany.
Yeah,
where she's like release her, and they don't release her.
Yeah,
There's just so much they could have done. The whole point of it is they should have done 10 episodes. You still have your big battle episodes, but then that buys you another 4 episodes to continue character stories the right way, flesh out certain things, and then not skip important parts that we should see.
Yeah, and bring in like the new Prince of Dorne is okay. Why the fuck are you mentioning him if you're not even gonna show him? Like it's an empty payoff. Like
so many empty payoffs.
Yeah.
The Golden Company fucking made those payoffs.
Euron. What the hell was the point of Euron?
They didn't have the elephants.
All of this stuff with Euron. And what the hell was the point of him? They never even addressed the pregnancy. That just ended.
Yeah, that came out of that.
Was she pregnant? Was she not pregnant? And he wasn't a threat during this battle. He got wiped out, and then Jaime wiped him out. Like,
it's so funny when it's just like
pointless.
I'm the man who killed Jaime Lannister. Yeah, if you were a castle, maybe. But no, that was just a wasted moment too because it was wrong. I mean, like even though you got to see it, because he still died happy knowing that nobody's gonna bump him into the afterlife. Hey, by the way, fucking Jaime got taken out by a castle. I'm not gonna see that.
What would have been more in character, because he actually mentioned this earlier in the season, is if she would have taken out most of his fleet and started on the wall, and he says, "Fuck it, I am out of here."
Yeah,
and he abandons Cersei and leaves. That would have been more in character with him, because he even said it when his sister talked. He was like, "I'll just take my ships and go."
Yeah,
that would have been better than they all get destroyed. He swims to shore. He gets beat by Jaime.
Well, not only that, like going into like Cersei being pregnant, I'm like, remember when they were on top of King's Landing in the previous episode, and they had Miss Sunday on there, and then Tyrion walks up. He's like, "Think about the baby that you have now in your stomach." Well, I don't think he said in your stomach, but he referenced the baby that she's pregnant, and Euron was just like, "How does he know that?" And then that didn't amount to anything. You thought that would have brought more fucking turmoil and conflict, but nothing, dude.
Nothing. The pregnancy ended up being a whole waste thing.
So much wasted buildup for stuff. That's what drives me crazy. But anyway, the episode's ending off. We saw Arya running through the city trying to help people get out from the destruction and just get to safety. And then everything got destroyed, and Arya just wakes up covered in dust and blood, and everybody's dead on the streets. It's like very quiet, and she sees that one horse that died essentially. We thought this horse died. He was with the Golden Company, and they had that very specific shot of showing the horse go down.
Yep, and not move, and it had a weird angle too.
Yeah, it's like how people die in movies and they put their bodies in weird angles just to say I'm dead. That's like how the horse died. But I mean, like we don't know if the horse died, but when you saw it laying there and it was weird, it was just frozen. It wasn't moving. I'm like, that motherfucker's dead. And then you see Arya get up and she sees the horse. And Minnie, you had a theory about this today, but apparently somebody else did this over the internet.
It's 2 theories. The first one is that Arya's dead, and that's why she was able to see the horse that fucking died in the beginning of the episode. The other thing that I started thinking of is going back to the Battle of Winterfell with the White Walkers, and the Night King ends up grabbing her, and she does the knife flip, kills the Night King. There's always been the White Walkers have to kind of turn you into one of them. Usually, or at least the time that we did see it was with a child, so it happened pretty instantly. What if it's a situation where because she's older, it takes longer to get into effect? So while the Night King was holding her and he saw her dropping the dagger, because you see his eyes, he initiated that spell to start turning her into a White Walker before she killed him. So now she's slowly becoming the Night King.
You think it just transferred over to Arya?
It's possible. I mean, there's been rumors that the White Walkers aren't gone yet. So,
But
I mean,
basically, but isn't this how the episode ended off with her just riding off with the horse, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is the other theory is just biblical. Pale horse.
Yeah.
death.
Pale Horse, White Rider.
Yeah, her riding out. And then the fourth theory is there's probably more than one white horse there, and that just happened to be a horse.
Yeah. Who knows? But
Yeah.
they did put the pieces out there for us. They did show the horse after the guy got knocked off. They showed the horse going down. And if you're showing that, why show the if you just saw the guy get knocked off the horse and the dragons coming in and burn everything up, you just assume the horse is dead. Why have that extra shot of showing the horse go down and just laying there then go back into the battle?
Why?
Why?
Because pregnancy, Jamie Brienne, Golden Company. That's why.
Well, at least I mean, this is also paid off in the same episode, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we saw what's going to happen a little bit next episode, the final episode. They only showed a couple of shots. I think I remember seeing Dany in front of her army back.
Yeah.
Her massive unsullied army that she lost half of during the Battle of Winterfell, and then lost another good portion of them when Euron fucking attacked all of her ships. How the fuck does she have so many fucking soldiers if she lost so many goddamn many of them?
Yeah.
So with the preview at start, you see Tyrion walking through the city of disaster. You see Arya walking behind the Unsullied, and then you see Dany walking out to the masses of her army. But it looks like the Unsullied are face to face, possibly the Northerners, the Northern Army.
Oh, okay.
Because they're face to face with another group that's not Unsullied. That they're down at the lower ground.
I gotta look at that again because I thought it looked like they were both unsullied.
No,
I'll go have to look at it
You got
again.
large rows of Unsullied, and then there's a space, and then you have another group at the bottom. Are they Northerners? Are they what's left of the Lannisters? But I think they all got wiped out, her army. So maybe that's the beginning of the conflict. I don't know.
But what do you guys think is going to happen? Let's just get into some predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen?
I
next week?
think we're all going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, here's the bigger question: is Dany gonna die, or is she gonna rule the Iron Throne?
I think I think she's gonna die. I think it's gonna have to be Jon. He's gonna have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
He spent so much time over the last season and stuff. Like, I don't want it. I don't want to do anything. I don't want it. You're my queen. You're my queen. And it might come down to him having to take what he didn't want and going against what's been his queen.
You think so? Well, we know that they don't give a shit about predictions and, and misdirection. So I can imagine Dany just killing everybody, and she's just the ruler. She's just gonna sit on the throne at the end. I think that's gonna be her. But I only because I think everybody's going to hate the finale, and that is probably what would happen, make everybody hate it. But anyway, I don't know. At this point, it's just like, whatever. We're not really too happy with how they were executing this season so far. But, we're still willing to watch it. We still love Game of Thrones. It's been an awesome 8 seasons. And, it's just sad to see it come to an end, especially only over 6 episodes.
Over 6 episodes that are being very poorly received.
Yes. Yeah, it feels like the scale, the reactions of the whole season has been getting worse and worse. It started with the battle at Winterfell when everybody was complaining that it was too dark. It was too dark, and then the
Starbucks coffee.
Well, no, before that, their response to the being darkness, everybody, you need to adjust your TVs. And it's just like, that's stupid. Just say, hey, sorry, we should have given you a disclaimer to brighten your TVs. And then we see the coffee cup. The coffee cup, and I don't know, man. It's just been getting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm still holding up hope that they'll have at least. I don't think at this point with what they've done this season, you can have an amazing finale, but that they at least have a good finale, because I haven't hated all these episodes.
No, I haven't.
There's been parts of it that I'm like, I don't know about that, but there's been some parts where I'm like, yes, that was great.
Yeah.
So I'm still holding up hope that they have a good to very good finale.
And I do like Danny turning.
Yeah, me
you
too.
know, I like that. I mean, it was sad to see. It sucked, but you know, it felt like that was the right thing to do. You know, and you know, I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, what it has going against it is you have one episode and a lot to close out in one episode. So
Yeah.
that's what's going to be detrimental. We're not going to get everything covered. Some things are going to be ignored. They're going to the wayside. They're just probably going to cover the main plots of who rules, you know, main characters dead or alive. But we are going to be missing a lot.
How long is this finale going to be?
Hour 20.
An hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 20.
Well, it's going to be an entertaining hour and 20 minutes to say the
They
least.
should have made it more episodes.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, guys?
No, let's at this point is wait and see. What do you got?
Let's wait and see. All right. If you guys are listening to us on Spotify or SoundCloud, you guys should travel over to our YouTube channel at 2 High McFly Productions, and you guys can actually watch our Game of Thrones reactions for the finale. You can also reach out to us on Twitter at 2 High McFly Productions and also on Instagram at 2 High McFly Productions. Until next time, my name is Kevin Lyons.
I'm Jose Ramos.
And I'm Minnie.
Man, I hope this finale doesn't suck.
Me too.
We like to party.